Aced Coco Gauff, highest-paid female athlete. Again. Gauff's on-court victories and endorsement deals earned her the top spot on Sportico's 2025 list of the highest-paid female athletes. Sportico, the sports business publication, crowned tennis star Coco Gauff the highest-paid female athlete for the third consecutive year on Wednesday, December 3. Gauff earned $31 million, $23 million of which came off the court through partnerships with brands like New Balance, Baker Tilly, Bose, Head, Rolex, Mercedes-Benz, and Chase Bank. She launched Coco Gauff Enterprises in April with talent firm WME to manage her career, following 7 years with Roger Federer's Team 8 agency. WME holds no ownership stake in the business. Gauff's ranking, ahead of fellow WTA top 3 players Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek, underscores tennis as the only major professional sport where women's pay closely rivals men's. While WTA Tour prize money generally lags behind the ATP, earnings are equal at Grand Slams and Masters 1000 events. Off the court, 6 women earned $10 million or more from sponsorships, compared with 4 active men. Tennis players also dominated Sportico's overall list of 15 highest-paid athletes, with only 5 coming from other sports. Other notable mentions include Naomi Osaka, who pulled in $12.5 million in combined salary, prize money, and endorsements, with her prize winnings placing her ahead of Simone Biles, who earned $11 million from endorsements, and Venus Williams at $10 million in endorsements and $219,000 in salary and prize winnings. Osaka climbed from number 59 to number 16 in the WTA rankings in 2025, bouncing back after a quiet 2024 following the birth of her daughter. Her rise included a run to the US Open semifinals. Williams only competed in 3 events in 2025, but won her first singles match since 2023 and reached the US Open doubles quarterfinals, boosting her prize money to its highest level since 2021. Olympic champion Biles, still on a break from competitive gymnastics, recently released her 5th Athleta collection and endorses brands including Audemars Piguet, Lilly, and Nullo Pet Food. Her Netflix documentary Simone Biles Rising earned an Emmy, and she is partnering with Playmakers Group to launch a new restaurant, Taste of Gold, in her hometown of Houston. Coco Gauff's name flutters across headlines like a champion's pennant. Short, bright, impossible to miss. In 2025 she did more than win matches. She rewrote the financial playbook for women in sport. For the 3rd straight year she stood at the top of the money mountain as the world's highest-paid female athlete, a slot carved from prize purses, global endorsements, and the kind of off-court savvy that turns rackets into brands. She finished the year around the $31 million mark, a figure that reads like a punchline to anyone who still thinks women's athletics can't headline the world's richest conversations. Women's Tennis Association +1. Picture a clay court at dusk. The lights glare, the crowd hushes, and Coco moves with a strange mix of adolescent energy and polished inevitability. That contrast, youthful curiosity wrapped in absolute focus, has become part of her currency. On the scoreboard she racks up titles. Off it she racks up partnerships. Reports show that a large portion of her haul is not from trophies alone but from lucrative deals with brands big and bold, everything from performance wear to tech, luxury automobiles to lifestyle partnerships. In 2025, roughly 3/4 of her reported earnings came from endorsements and business ventures, an engine that hums as loudly as her baseline forehand. Tennis.com +1. But this isn't just a story about money. It's a modern fable about timing and tone. Coco arrived on the scene as a precocious teen with an internet-age smile. She stayed by evolving with the moment. She's a player who understands the rhythms of sport and social culture equally well. One day she's hoisting a Grand Slam trophy. The next she's walking a red carpet in couture or dropping a candid Instagram that reminds fans she's human, not a billboard. That duality, elite athlete, relatable personality, makes her a marketer's dream and a cultural ambassador at the same time. There's theater to how Coco converted athletic momentum into commercial muscle. Consider the arc. Breakthroughs on court built trust and narrative. Smart management and strategic shifts in representation turned that trust into deals. And a willingness to be visible, opinionated, and authentic sealed the brand partnerships that pay in the tens of millions. When a player becomes a story people want to follow even on off days, sponsorships stop being transactions and start feeling like chapters in a long-read feature about culture, identity, and influence. Forbes +1. But let's not reduce her to an advertisement. The foundation of any earnings surge is still performance. 2025 gave Coco another highlight reel. Match-winning grit, a Grand Slam or 2, and moments of brilliance that replay in collective memory. Those signature performances are the same ones that make a sneaker deal feel like a cultural event and not just a stock photo shoot. Fans buy into wins, partners buy into reach, and Coco, talented, disciplined, media literate, supplies both. There's also an argument here about women's sport more broadly. Her repeated reign as the top earner isn't a quirk, it's a signal. Tennis's global calendar, deep prize pools, and individual branding ecosystem mean that when the sports stars align, championships, charisma, crossover appeal, the payouts follow. That pattern surfaced in 2025. Tennis players dominated lists of top female earners, showing how a sport with individual fame attached to global stages still leads the charge in commercial returns for women athletes. The result? Younger girls watching courtside are not just seeing players win. They're seeing financial independence, brand ownership, and lifestyle leadership for the next generation. Women's Tennis Association +1. Of course, being the highest-paid female athlete isn't a finish line. It changes expectations. With big money comes bigger questions. How does an athlete balance performance and obligations? When does branding aid authenticity and when does it hollow it out? Coco's answer so far has been to remain fiercely herself. Ask questions, speak up about causes she cares about, experiment in fashion, and keep the tennis first. It's a careful choreography. Decline the gigs that distract, accept the ones that amplify, and always let the racket do the talking on the big stages. There's also humility hidden in the headlines. Watch her in a locker room interview after a narrow win and you'll see exhaustion, gratitude, and a teenager's bewildered joy. That tension, between global icon and young person still figuring out life, makes her approachable. Brands value authenticity because audiences do. People buy into athletes they can imagine having coffee with, not into marble statues. Coco's ability to remain warm, curious, and even a bit goofy in public spaces keeps the fascination honest and the business durable. What does this mean for the sports ecosystem? Sponsors, broadcasters, and tournament organizers take note. When women athletes generate headline-making revenues, the entire industry feels permission to invest more. Contracts expand, prize pools rise, and broadcast windows widen. The trickle becomes a flood of opportunity for peers, juniors, and the sports-adjacent industries that grow around them: coaching, apparel design, esports, and media. Coco's financial peak is a lighthouse.